So let's move on to the last story of the night, and this is kind of how we like to always end the show, with a nice little video game rant going on. And this week, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, they just released a trailer last week for it, and I gotta say, even though it comes out every year and it tends to get a little boring from time to time, this one looks awesome. I mean, they're calling it Advanced Warfighter, and they've already done the Modern Warfare. Some of the Black Ops kind of took into the future, but they're really kind of taking a different twist on this, and I think it's really inspired by games like Titanfall. Um, because some of the new things that they've released in the trailer, just listen to this. So you get exosuits as well as mech suits in this. Now, I don't know if it's multiplayer, but at least in the single player, they showed that off, so that's pretty cool. Who doesn't like a good mech suit? An exosuit, I mean, if you've never seen the show from the 90s, Exo Squad, I recommend you try to, because that was an amazing show. And amazing action figures, too, but that I was lost all the pieces, so.
And to be honest, to be fair, the exosuit idea is not that far from the tech that we have now that we already are starting to see, like assistive mechanics, like go over your legs or whatever, that are to help faster move or whatever it is.
Totally. I was watching a show the other day where they were showing somebody with a severed spinal cord, and they were able to tap some of the exosuit into there so they could actually walk. Because it'd steal some of the electric signals from the spinal cord and move the legs like your brain was trying to. So,
yeah,
pretty cool stuff. Another thing that they're going to be doing, and again, like I said, Titanfall inspired, is going to be wall climbing. You're going to be able to do some crazy wall climbing all the way throughout the game. So that would be a really cool multiplayer element. Imagine just running up a wall and jumping over a bad guy, shooting him on the top of the head, with him never seeing you. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, but so they're definitely moving away from I guess, the roots of a realistic shooter here, like a realistic military shooter. Now going to,
yeah,
wild
they've kind of done that to death. They did that for about 7 years, where they did realistic shooters. So they're trying to branch out a little bit, especially since you're doing a once-a-year franchise. You really need to, make it fresh, keep it lively.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they do, because that's going to require. I would assume it requires a lot of changes on their end too, because they had all the stuff ready for the various realistic stuff that they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they'll move over to the Unreal Engine, because that already does a bunch of other unrealistic games, like
I think they have their own
Halo use it and things like that. So
yeah, I think they have their own engine that they use pretty much for these Call of Duty games. So I don't see them doing that, unfortunately. But
all right, well, they can do it.
Another cool thing coming out in the next one is invisibility suits. That's right, invisibility suits, which is actually not a technology too far away from today. There is technology out there with fabrics that actually bend light. Bend light. Bend.
Yes.
I know.
And this is sounding more and more like as they go away from the realistic, though. I'm kind of wondering, like, I guess there was other realistic shooters before too, but I'm just reminded more and more of Halo.
Yeah. And then listen to the next piece of tech, an infrared grenade that lets you see through walls.
The grenade lets you see through walls?
Yeah, you throw it sends out an infrared spectrum, and you get to see through walls for a short period of time.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, like, you just like you hold the grenade and you could see through walls with the grenade.
Traditional grenades lets you see through walls too. You throw it at a wall and let it blow up. So,
I guess you're right about that one.
But yeah, so I guess it's not too far off of what real grenades do. But looks like I dropped off of the webcam. Oh well.
No, I see you.
Oh, you see me? Okay, well I didn't see me. So stupid Google. Stupid Google. But some of the other cool things that are going to be there, you're going to get hover bikes. Who doesn't like a good hover bike? I know I love a good hover bike.
I mean, I got one just last year, and it's in my backyard. All them hover bikes. Like to go riding sometimes.
Hover biking it up. It's the ultimate off-road vehicle, because you don't even need to touch the road. You're literally off
the road.
Off the road. And so another cool thing, spider tanks. I've always wanted to see a real spider tank. It always seemed like a cool idea. You see it in different shows and movies and sci-fi all the time, and I'd like to pilot one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. Yeah, that's a cool addition right there. Spider tanks. I mean, I love them in like Ghost in the Shell uses them a lot, and a whole bunch of series now. For some reason, spider tanks make sense to a lot of people. Like, whatever, it's cool.
It just seems like a good idea. It's a good way to keep stable and move in all different types of terrain. So, but this is probably my favorite addition to the whole thing. Is they're actually bringing in. Now they had brought in different people. I believe Ice Cube was one of the characters. He was a backup in your squad, and he actually had the voice in multiplayer telling you when you got a kill streak and stuff. But Kevin Spacey is going to be doing the acting and voice work of the villain of this game. So you're bringing a real big, real actor with real pedigree into this series, and really, hopefully, you'll change the dynamics of the storytelling and make it more immersive, even though you are going less realistic.
Yeah, and honestly, that's kind of a strange project for Kevin Spacey, but he's been doing a lot of strange projects lately. Like he had a whole series of just, I don't know, a few minute films. All these short films. Just like a couple of years ago, he released to. I don't know where he first released it, but there was a bunch on YouTube that they released officially, and there was just like, I don't know, 5 or 6 of these 5 minute films that he was the star of.
Well, I just got to say, Kevin Spacey is the man. I'm not a huge fan of Game of Thrones. I almost said
You are a fan of Game of Thrones, but
I meant House of Cards. I'm a huge fan of Game of Thrones. Like, I'll sing the theme song right now. There's no words to it, but I've made my own words to it that I kind of sing to myself whenever the song actually comes on, because it's like also one of the greatest theme songs out there. But we weren't talking about that. We were talking about Kevin Spacey. So Kevin Spacey's done a lot of cool things. You're right. He's been branching out. House of Cards was one of those things. The internet web series you're talking about is another one. So it should help liven up the series a little bit more. Now, Ghost was a great game, and it did take it in an interesting direction, but I see this really fulfilling what Ghost started. So check it out. Again, that hits every November. I mean, if you didn't know it hits in November, that, Assassin's Creed, and Madden are in all the sports games. You're going to know what month they come out in. So